Hi guys, welcome to Mastering Ethical Hacking using Python course. Today, we'll talk about how we can write customized port scanner in Python. Of course, this scanner will be written in using Python sockets in Python programming language as I mentioned. Also, this scanner will be fully customized, which means that we can add any feature that we want to this scanner. And in this lecture, we will learn how to perform a penalty grabbing and how to get the version of the service that is currently working on the machine. During this lecture, we will try to scan the machine of Bob's machine here, as you can see. We will scan Bob's machine and extract all the open ports from it. Okay, let's get started. Before we get started, we will review the script that we wrote in the previous lecture. As we can see here, we import socket and sys library, socket library to make the connection, and sys to take two arguments, host and port. Then we initialize a socket with IP version for support and with using TCP protocol. Then we try to connect to the host. If any exception happened, we'll print error for me if all things going good actually. The script will print connection done. We just send hi as data to the system, and this is all about the sockets that we talked about in the previous lecture. Today, we'll use the same logic to test the script that we will write in this lecture to perform a port scanner on any host that we want. So let's get started with the interpreter path. We to point to Python 2.7. Then we will import socket and sys. Sys to take the argument again, and socket to handling the connection as we talked before. We will initialize a variable with the host, or let's say target, equal sys.argv1. Then we will do the following. We will generate the ports that we were going to scan. Let's say that we wanted to scan first 2000 port. We will need the range function. It's not make a sense to write them in array or in list, sorry. List L1 equal port 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, it's not make sense to do that. We need something automated to generate the ports for us. So we need to use range function. The range function, you can give it a range to generate an array with a number of elements, a number of integers too. So let us use the Python interpreter here, just Udemy profile, Python 2.7, range, we can see 2001 to generate this elements actually, starting from 0, of course, because that I add 1 to 2000, so we have 2000 elements. If we want 2001 elements actually, starting from 0, if we need to generate 1 to 2000 element, we give the start address and the our offset, start offset and the end offset. We will press enter. We'll say that range function generated a list for me which contains 2000 element. Okay, that's great. Now we will say the ports here. We will initialize another variable with ports equal range from 1 to 2001 to generate again 2000 integer, start from 1 to 2000. So in this case I got my 2000 ports imports variable, which is a list variable, of course. Okay, now we will start to make a try. We will do sock equal socket dot socket, and we will choose the family socket dot af underscore inet. We will socket dot sock stream, of course, to determine that we need IP version, or we deal with IP version 4, and we dealing with TCP or using TCP connection. We will make sure that we are connecting to the host and the port, which we learn to use the connect method. But in this lesson, we will use connect underscore ex to connect with the host and the port. Okay, but we need to initialize something here, guys. We need to put this try in a for loop so we can extract each element from this list, which is contain the 2000 element that we generated. So we need to do the following: for I n range, or let's say for port would be better, for port and ports, we will do the following: try with an indent, of course, suck, and port. We will check if the status of the connection was equal 0, which means that everything was good. There is no problem with me. We will connect, or we will print this message. Let it be print. Oh, sorry, print. Okay, print. Maybe the port with some of format string here. Format port. Okay, is open. Okay, sorry, open. So if the port is open, we will try to connect and initialize the socket. If the connection goes good and there is no problem with this, we will raise the port is open. Else, we'll print. I'm sorry, there's print here. Okay, print the port and 0 is closed. Okay, closed, and here opened. Okay, dot format, of course, the port. Let's say that here we have an exception, or we had an exception, except socket error. We talked about socket error in the previous lecture. Well, let's say except print here like this, error with socket, for example. Okay, we will test the script. Let's say that example 2. We will go to let's go exit from the interpreter, opt course example Python 2.7, and we will say example 2.py, and we will give the local host for just testing purposes, and we will press enter. I'm sorry, here's suck dot. Okay, I forgot to add the suck. Okay, let's say enter. Oops, it is about, target. I used to type it as target. Okay, let's press enter and see what will happen actually. As we can see, we get the result from scanning our local machine. We said that we can see that we got the 22 port is opened. We can see that we got 80 is opened, and we can see all the open and closed ports in a range 2000 port. If we need to port more or scan more ports, we can just generate more ports from range function. Otherwise, you can just go with this 2000 ports. Now, if we want to just print the open port, we need to comment out this lines and try again Python example2.py in the local host, and we will see that, yeah, we got the open ports, all open ports in the range 2000 port, and we definitely programmed this script or the tool, whatever you want to call it, successfully, and we get the job done. Now, we want to scan Pop's machine here. Let's get Pop's machine, IP config. Okay, we will scan this IP address for testing purposes. We'll take this IP in this way. Uh, we will say I want to scan Python. I want to scan this host, and I will press enter. As I say, we can see, sorry, we can see the ports, the open ports. We can see all the open ports in within the range 2,000 port without any problem, and in a clear way. We can see that we discovered the open port within the 2,000 ports, as I mentioned. So we write maybe 17, as we can see, 70 lines of code, and those 70 lines of codes are enough to scan and to determine the open ports and the closed ports in the target machine. So I hope you guys enjoy this lesson, and I really want from you guys to test this and rewrite this from zero and add any other idea in your imagine to this code. So in the next lecture, we will talk about how we can perform a panel grabbing and the other things that we will need during any port scanning operation. So see you in the next lecture.